So I've taken a short position on pound dollar, expecting price to come down to previous day's lows, somewhere above this fair value gap, ideally, this low, and I expect price to find support at that level or at this 50% of the 60-minute fair value gap and push higher. My reason for entry is because it's a London session. Price came, we've had this range, price came above and took out liquidity above this range. With this strong, sharp, bullish candle after price was consolidating for a while, we've had this consolidation, accumulation, whatever you want to call it, during Asian session. Because I anticipate price to come down here before moving up, I'm taking a short position on pound dollar. I took a trade right after seeing this engulfing candle, and I've got my stops at this level. Ideally, I'm going to take target one at here, and then target 2 at this level. I've only risked 0.2% off my overall account because this is not something I've fully tested, but I am quite confident after analyzing the market for weeks in, weeks out, that whenever we see a sharp turn like this, expect some kind of a reversal, especially when price comes into a POI. Here, the POI for me is, because it's a 15-minute I'm looking at, you've got this fair value gap right here above these equal highs. If you look at this, this is the equal high in lower time frames, which price held with a engulfing candle on the 5-minute time frame, especially after this sharp turn up. And yeah, that was my main reason for entry, and let's see how that plays out. Hopefully I'm able to hold this and not get out of the trade like I always do, because I've only risked a very small amount. So yeah, let's see. And this is exactly the kind of price action that I want to see after price rejects those levels. If price had started to move up, I'm pretty sure I would have exited the trade early. It's probably a good idea for me to leave the desk once I've entered the trade, because small price movements can really drive a lot of emotions. And right now it's a lot better because we've started to move in my direction. But once if we start doing this, then I'm going to exit that trade. Seeing price form this inverse fair value gap on the 15-minute just gives me more confidence. So yeah, if you're someone that can that wants to wait for further confirmation to enter a trade like this, this is another level that you can short at, either at the start of that inverse fair value gap or at that 50%. Stops above these highs probably, and then targets down to this level. The main reason I like catching, or that I want to catch these trades at these highs, is because I know the overall higher time frame direction that I want price to go to, which is essentially come down to this level before going up. It might not do that, right? It might not do that. That's why I want to take target 1 at this level, and then target 2 at that level. And that's why, because if I waited for price to come here and then stops over here and target 1 there, I don't really get a good risk reward. Whereas, because I do anticipate some kind of reaction above these highs, and the next level where price can find resistance for me is exactly at these highs, these equal highs, which will be clearer on the lower time frame. And we've got this strong displacement previously just above that, and we also came into that and held initially and then provided this bearish engulfing candle. I've tried to put stops above the fair value gap, and yeah, that was the main reason. So price has hit my stop. However, I still have the same prediction that price could come down to these lows especially, and then find support. Maybe we'll take out this level or these highs first before pushing back down. So yeah, right now, even though I've been stopped out, I still have the same prediction that price will come down here before going up. I got stopped out on the other trade, and towards the end of this hourly candle, as price approached this relative equal highs, I took a trade as price took that high as this paint bar was printing. It's mainly because I had a clear place to put my stops. I gave myself plenty of room, around 7 pips above these highs, and I'm targeting again. I'll take my targets 1 off at this low if price comes down to there, or these lows, and then target 2 will be down that level. The second trade also got stopped out. Ideally, I should have waited for price to come to these highs instead of these highs, especially after these highs were taken and not held. Next level, drawn liquidity, yes, these highs, but not with aggressive entry. These highs with aggressive entries, yeah, however, not middle of the range, of this overall range. Anyway, price comes out, takes out this previous week's high. 1 hour time frame, it closes above, so I'm wary of that. However, I'm still looking for shorting opportunities, and we get this pattern. We fail to make a high. We get almost an equal high, sorry, and we get a fair value gap. This would be a perfect entry to go short. However, I went short after this candle and during this candle, as this candle was printing, with my stops above these highs, and I was still targeting these lows. But this time I got out around here. I wanted to take target 1s off here and then let the target 2 run. However, I ended up taking almost 0.99% of my trade here by accident. And then trade continues to go lower. It doesn't actually reach the lows. It doesn't go to the previous day's lows, which is what I was anticipating price would potentially come down to, take liquidity and then push up in its bullish direction. But price, no, it doesn't want to come down. It just continues to push higher up. We just go to the 15-minute time frame, so we speed this up. I've got that buy side liquidity that I was aiming for, but also if you look at the pre-market analysis that I did for this week, you notice we are also at this monthly time frame fair value gap, and we've been tapping into that 50% off that level for a while. You see what I'm saying? We tapped into that 50% off that monthly time frame fair value gap last week, and this week we are, what it looks like is closing above. I don't think it will. I think it will close below, or even if it does, it won't close above this high. Or what I would ideally like to see is price go through the monthly time frame fair value gap, clear these highs, and then pull back down. But we've got 3 days left of the month, and a month is closing with such a strong bullish momentum. You know, end of month is coming along. We might see this wick, this turn into a wick, right? And price close below the monthly time frame fair value gap. Anything can happen, but that is also a potential probability. So yeah, even though I was wrong on 2 trades, I was right on 1 trade and could have recouped the losses. However, trade management wasn't the best. I exited almost all of my positions somewhere around here by accident, and I also risked a little less than I did previously. Actually, yeah, I exited the trade at this fair value gap as price approached this level, mainly because in my first trade I took this short, which was a good short. I mean, price moved below and it came into this 5-minute fair value gap and found support and then pushed back up. Because after this, I thought maybe I should have taken target 1s at least at this fair value gap and then let the trade play out. Hence why I wanted to do the same thing after price took these highs and came into the fair value gaps here. So yeah, with this, stops could have been right above this high, and I could have gone for at least 2 to 1 to recoup all the losses. 3 to 1, I wouldn't really, that's a bit too much. Because there isn't really a high time frame POI. Ideally, I would have taken targets at this level, especially when price closed above the 60-minute swing. So yeah, my bias was bullish going into the week. We have been bullish for a while. It's Wednesday now, and still there's potential room for price to continue to be bullish. We've got this bullish fair value gap that was held. Price is consolidating right now. We are also at this monthly time frame fair value gap at the end of the month, so could potentially see some kind of a pullback going into the next few days before the end of the week, mainly because it's the end of the month and we are at the monthly time frame fair value gap, so that's something to consider.